Hi, I'm Kay Dean, and this is Fake Review Watch. The fake review problem on Google is much worse than most people are aware of. Fake reviews permeate Google, and considering the impact these reviews have on the marketplace, I think people would be angry if they really understood what was happening. In today's case study, we'll focus on a business in Canada. 5 years ago, CBC's The National featured my research on fake Google reviews for Canadian businesses, and the situation is no better in 2026. Let's get started, and please remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel.
Today, we'll investigate fake Google reviews for Total Home Windows and Doors, located in the Greater Toronto area. Notice that they post their 4.9-star Google rating on their website. Well, you shouldn't trust that Google rating because my research indicates many of their reviews are coming from an India-based fake review network. First, I found 3 Google listings for Total Home Windows and Doors in Vaughan, Hamilton, and Oshawa. Most of the recent review activity I've seen has been on the Hamilton listing. But I've also found 7 other listings for window businesses in the Greater Toronto area that appear to be affiliated with Total Home. Reviews are posted on these other listings that specifically reference Total Home Windows and Doors, and they also have many reviewers in common. I've been watching these Google listings recently and have noticed a suspicious pattern. We'll look at an example. On June 7th, I took this video of Google profile Anil Kumawat. He reviewed CN Windows 9 minutes ago and Total Home Windows and Doors in Hamilton 11 minutes ago. Curiously, he reviewed a jeweler in India 6 months ago. Plus, look at the last sentence of Kumawat's CN Windows review, taken here from the Google business listing. I'm satisfied and will recommend Total Home Windows. Seems that CN Windows may be just another name for Total Home Windows and Doors. Even stranger is that within the hour, Kumawat had changed his name. Here are his 2 reviews I just showed you. But shortly later, the name on those reviews had changed to Cesar Vargas, and Kumawat removed his profile photo. Also significant is that Vargas, aka Kumawat, had locked his profile. When you click on the Vargas name, you don't see the map like this one here for Anil Kumawat and his reviews. Instead, you get this message from Google. This person hasn't written any reviews yet or has chosen not to show them on their profile. Locking their profiles is a common tactic used by review fakers to hide their shady review histories. Why Google allows this is beyond me.
So we've got a Google profile posting reviews nearly simultaneously for 2 different listings affiliated with Total Home Windows and Doors. The profile has an Indian name and has previously reviewed an Indian business. He then changes his name and locks his profile. This is all very fishy, and I've seen it repeatedly. I'll show you on a spreadsheet.
Down the left side of this spreadsheet are the Google listings for Total Home Windows and Doors, with listings in Vaughan, Hamilton, and Oshawa, Ontario, along with the 7 other listings I showed you earlier that I believe are all associated with Total Home Windows and Doors. Across the top are 39 Google profiles who posted reviews for these listings on the mornings of June 5th through June 12th. No one posted reviews on June 10th or 11th. Notice that they all have what appear to be Indian names.
Once I figured out what was going on, I sat down at my computer each morning with my coffee. And sure enough, each day around the same time, 9 a.m. Pacific time, reviews from Indians began to roll in like clockwork for Total Home Windows. So I busily began capturing data and logging what I saw. Let's go back to the spreadsheet.
Nearly all of these profiles posted 2 reviews in quick succession for these Google listings, which is suspicious in itself. But then they all changed their names shortly after posting reviews and locked their profiles. Let's look at Deepak Sharma from June 5th, Vikash Gujar from June 7th, and DJ Harsh Verma from June 8th. On June 5th, Deepak Sharma posted 5-star reviews for Total Home Windows and Doors Hamilton listing and ProSeal residential windows in Guelph, just 3 minutes apart. He had previously reviewed a business in India, as you can see over on the right on the map. Then, shortly after, Deepak Sharma had become Edwin Romero. You can see that the texts here for Romero's reviews are exactly the same as Sharma's reviews. And then Edwin Romero locked his profile to try to keep you from seeing what he's up to. On June 7th, Vikash Gujar, who had also previously reviewed a business in India, posted reviews 3 minutes apart for Total Elite Home Windows Replacement in Keswick and Sigma Total Home Windows in Ajax. Shortly thereafter, those same reviews now had a new author, Maverick Wang. Notice also that Vikash Gujar's profile photo is gone. And yes, Maverick Wang's profile is now locked. Then we have DJ Harsh Verma's reviews from June 8th. Yes, he had also previously reviewed an Indian business. His 5-star reviews for Elite Home Windows in Toronto and CN Windows in Caledon Village were posted just 2 minutes apart. Not long after, DJ Harsh Verma removed his profile photo and changed his name to Wells Barnes. By the way, look at the text of the top review for Elite Home Windows. The second line refers to Total Home Windows, not Elite Home Windows, which is more evidence that these Google listings are all tied back to Total Home Windows and Doors. And of course, Wells Barnes also locked his profile. So to recap, the guys we've looked at and all of the others on this spreadsheet appear to be Indians who have been busily apportioning reviews among these Google listings, and then they all ditched their Indian names. So if you look at these Google listings today, you won't see these names on any reviews. You'll see these names. The Indian names are gone, replaced almost entirely by Anglo and Hispanic names. Of course, their profiles are also all locked so that you can't easily see their suspicious review patterns. Name changes, inorganic review patterns, locked profiles, all reasons to doubt the authenticity of these reviews. Plus, I suspect most of these business listings on the left are not real brick and mortar locations at all. When you look up the physical addresses on the listings, many are just residences. I suspect that Total Home Windows and Doors is just trying to maximize its Google footprint.
This is typical of the type of deceit happening all over Google on a daily basis, facilitated, frankly, by Google. But more on Google later. Let's go back to the spreadsheet.
If we scroll across, you can see other profiles I've captured over the past month, all locked to hide their shady histories. All but the first 8 continue the pattern of reviewing 2 Total Home Windows affiliated listings. The first 8 profiles, however, reviewed both Total Home Windows and Evolve Construction down here at the bottom. This is significant because the connection to Evolve Construction is in fact how I found these fake reviews for Total Home Windows in the first place. I recently completed 2 videos documenting numerous fake Google and Facebook reviews for Evolve Construction, which has advertised numerous locations throughout the US and Canada. Any business getting reviewed by profiles that reviewed Evolve is immediately suspect in my opinion. Back on our spreadsheet, there's one more point I want to make. Most of these profiles don't bother to include a profile photo, but of those that do, I can show many are just photos lifted from elsewhere on the internet. Let's look at Lincoln Hayes, Aidan Wells, and Samuel Welsh. Each has reviewed 2 of these listings. Above is Lincoln Hayes' 5-star review of total home windows and doors. But if you look closely at his profile photo, you'll see that it's the same as the profile photo of Anson Roberts on LinkedIn. Roberts says he's in Denver. What's more, Google profile Axel Coleman also uses that same photo. And believe it or not, Coleman is a reviewer of Evolve Construction. Look closely at Aidan Wells' profile photo on his Elite Home Windows review. Really? You're using an image of a senior man from StockSnap. And Samuel Welsh, who reviewed Total Home Windows Replacement, apparently uses a joyful family scene from Pexels as his profile photo. And finally, photos of purported work done may not be genuine either. Let's look at the review that's now under the name Angel Morgan, who was previously Anshu Chadhari. Here's Morgan's review of the listing for Total Home Windows in Richmond Hill. She discusses her new kitchen windows and includes a photo. However, that photo appears to be lifted from the website Airy Kitchens, an interior design firm. So, as you've seen, there's a lot of garbage systematically filling these Google listings, which brings us to the larger issue. Where in the world is Google's quality control? Let's see what Google says it does. In its transparency report, Google states, "We've designed our policies to maximize the healthfulness, accuracy, and authenticity of information on our platform. Sorry, your policy allowing locked profiles maximizes fraud." Google goes on to say, "We strictly prohibit fake or misleading reviews." Really? You may be talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. Down here, Google says built-in advanced protection systems block or remove the majority of policy-violating content before anyone sees it. Gee, all those reviews we've just seen must be legit then. And finally, down here in the laughable Deliver Reliable Information section, Google says, "We provide added context to help people evaluate content, such as showing an alert when we detect suspicious activity." Hello? A pattern of people from India posting multiple reviews for Canadian window businesses at the same time each day, then changing their names and locking their profiles is not suspicious activity? Please.
What Google does and what it says it does are 2 different things. What it does is allow fraud all over its review platform, and that's harmful to both consumers and honest small businesses. Thanks for watching, and again, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.